Hello, Nigeria. There's no better place to be, so don't you ever change that dial. What's up, everybody? It's Kabam Zasukwa, and you're watching Hello, Nigeria.
And you're most welcome back. Thank you very much for making it a date with us here on Hello Nigeria. And of course, because today is special, we will be opening the phone lines and we want you to get talking. Just to let you know what our headlines for today will be in case you'd have any particular interest in any of the stories. 2017 budget, federal government appropriates 12.9 billion naira to Mines and Steel Ministry. Great news right there. Also, court adjourned Eveans case till July 27th. Indeed, we've been following the case of the notorious kidnapper Eveans, and we will be looking at the fact that the court has adjourned his case until 27th of July. Also, Nigeria not ripe for state police, Inspector General of Police says. Now, we have been talking about the option of Nigerian police being state-controlled as opposed to it being controlled at the federal level. And we have here a statement by the IG saying that we are quite not ready, or not quite ready. What do you think about this? You might want to join us right now, but I'll give you details of the stories now. 2017 budget, federal government appropriates 12.9 billion naira to Mines Steel Ministry. The Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development is to spend about 12.9 billion naira for capital expenditures in 2017 against 7.3 billion naira appropriated for similar projects in 2016. Now, this is part of its fiscal allocations approved by the federal government in the year's budget. According to the 2017 Appropriation Act concerning the ministry, obtained by newsmen on yesterday in Abuja, there is a significant difference of 5.6 billion naira between the appropriations in the years to the ministries. Now, we have spoken about diversifying the economy. We've spoken about our non-reliance on oil, particularly with the fall in oil prices globally. And we're looking at the fact that we should invest in other sectors. The mine and steel industry is one of such sectors. What do you think about this with regards to the increase in budgetary allocation to the mine and steel industry? What do you think? Do you think more we should also be looking at sectors such as the agricultural sector? Or do you think there are other aspects of the budget that should actually command more attention and more money instead of the mines and steel, well, in addition or instead of the mines and steel industry? Some people have spoken about the educational sector. Now, Malala Yousafzai visited the acting president only earlier this week, and she spoke about the fact that we should declare a state of emergency with regards to the educational sector. Now, do you think that there should be more budgetary allocation to the education sector or the health sector? A lot of people have also said there needs to be a total overhaul of the health sector and more money should actually be allocated to that particular sector. Do you think that instead of investing in mines and steel industry, or with regards to that, we should have additional, it shouldn't be one or the other, it should actually be all of them being catered to by the government? Now, according to the ministry statement, they said this is a clear vision that government is committed to achieve its diversification plan through the sector. Though the amount is not enough, so they're even asking for more, it is better than the previous years. Now, the News Agency of Nigeria learned that some of the challenges and constraints of the 2016 budget comprised inadequate funds to projects, delay in the procurement process, amongst others. All right, let us know your thoughts. Let's know your opinions. Phone lines scrolling on your TV screens if you think, or what do you think about this latest development with regards to budgetary allocation for the Steel and Mines Department. All right, moving on, court adjourns Eveans case until July 27. Now, hearing has been further adjourned till July 27, 2017 in the 300 million naira fundamental rights enforcement suit filed against the Inspector General of Police by suspected kidnapped kingpin Chukwudumeme Nwamadike, a.k.a. Eveans. Justice Chuka Obiozo declined entertaining the case on Thursday on the basis that Eveans' lawyer, Mr. Olukoya Ogungbeje, had yet to pay the punitive cost of 20,000 naira awarded against him at the last adjourned date. Now, Justice Anka, who awarded the punitive cost against Ogungbeje on July 13, had said the lawyer would not be given audience in court until he paid the 20,000 naira to the court. Now, it's interesting, the back and forth going on with this particular case. In case you didn't know, I'm sure almost everyone in Nigeria knows about Eveans, knows about the notorious kidnapper who is said to be the kingpin with regards to the spate of the rise in the cases of kidnappings in Nigeria. Eveans was arrested and put in custody, having found to be responsible for many of the kidnap cases in Lagos and all across Nigeria. Now, he's now filed a suit against Inspector General of Police, and it's been said that the particular case would be adjourned. Do you think that he ought to be given audience at all, or should he face his case first of all in the first instance before even putting a counter suit? Again, thankfully, the rule of law protects both the good, the bad, and the ugly. And despite what anyone might say, he is said to be innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. So despite the media trial, despite allegations, despite people coming out to speak, until the court finds him guilty and gives him a punishment, he is still within his rights as a citizen of Nigeria and can therefore, exercise his rights and, rights as a citizen. But let us know what you think with regards to the case. Do you think the judiciary is dragging its feet with regards to Eveans? Or do you think they're well within their rights to do what they're doing currently with regards to the case? Let us know. Again, our phone lines are scrolling on your TV screens. If you're able to call in before we end this segment, then we will take your calls. If not, then please don't forget you can continue the discussion on Twitter. But our final stop for today is that Nigeria not ripe for state police, according to the Inspector General of Police. Now, Mr. Ibrahim Idris says Nigeria does not yet have the political maturity for state police. Instead, the country should improve funding for the agency under the current arrangement. Mr. Idris stated this yesterday in Abuja during a meeting with the Nigerian Governors Forum. The IG said he was not unaware of the agitation by some groups for the creation of state police, but argued that the federal police arrangement still remains the best. Here's a statement in defense of what he's claimed. I sincerely believe that the federal police is still the best for the country, and with improved funding, the challenges of crime will be addressed. Now, this has been a big topic of discussion with regards to the fact that should the police in Nigeria be state or at federal level. Now, what the IG is saying, of course, as would be expected, is defending the fact that it should still remain at federal level. But what the IG is saying is that, as with other sectors in the country, he's asking for more funding. He's asking, a number of people have said that the police is a sector that is massively underfunded and that the government should focus more on funding that sector rather than, deregulating it or bringing it down to the state level. But what some people have argued, as it's worked in other climes, is that not only should it be state governed, but also even at local level, because it's such a sensitive part of running the state, running our societies, that we must, at federal level, it's too big for them to handle. It needs more concentrated efforts, and each state can then understand the peculiar needs of their people to then to prioritize the focus of the police. Some people have argued for, some have argued against. What are your thoughts? Do you think that we should be looking towards state police as opposed to federal police in Nigeria, or do you think we should maintain status quo, as the IG has said, and instead look towards funding the sector? Now, he said, let me use this opportunity to appeal to your excellencies to prevail on your representatives at the National Assembly to ensure the passage of the Nigeria Trust Fund bill. Now, lots of people have also spoken about the role of the Senate in this, with regards to the fact that there's some critical bills that are in Senate that haven't gone through first, second, third reading, while others that are not as critical. Yesterday, we mentioned it with human rights lawyer Ngozi Nwosu-Juba when she said that there's some things that are not important that are going really quickly in Senate based on the personal dispositions of the Senate, while the ones that are very critical, such as the Nigeria Police Fund, has not been looked into. Perhaps it's time for our governors and the electorate to start to put pressure on their representatives in-house to, expedite the process and ensure that the rights and the interests of our policemen are definitely looked after, so that we want to see dignity restored to the police force in Nigeria. A lot of people say that people go into the police force as a last resort, or perhaps because they don't have anything else or any other area to go to, or out of desperation. But we must change that. We must see a nation that encourages the recruitment of police officers are people wanting to feel the pride of wearing the uniform and wanting to go into the police service. What do you think? It's a service, but many people say that it is many times a disservice in some cases. Let us know your thoughts. Unfortunately, if you're not able to get through our phone lines, you might be able to go onto our Twitter page at @WazobioMax, use the hashtag #HelloNigeria, and let us know your thoughts on any of the stories we've spoken about. If you'd like, you can also tweet at us directly at Ayothompson7, at Captain Sankara, and at Oliver Modi on Twitter. Thank you very much for staying tuned on Hello Nigeria.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.